4th-5th century, the people of Kairenai were laid to rest in a burial mound. These days, only the pine trees rising high up into the sky on this hill can tell us about the common unity of people and plants. Today, the same Kairenai is famous for the Vilnius University Botanical Gardens, which has the most abundant collection of plants in Lithuania and is one of the largest botanical gardens of all the neighboring countries. Staff at the botanical gardens concentrate on two main things: plants and visitors. So what grows here and why people rush to visit the gardens from spring to winter? Let's take a look. Today, the gardens cover a territory of more than 190 hectares. Their central part is located within the Kairenai estate. Yet, finally renovated main building is just one part of the former estate's farm buildings. The estate's main house, built in the 17th century, collapsed a long time ago. Only fragments of the foundations can be seen today. Still, let us move on the collections of plants, where it is possible to count over 8,400 names of plants. Let's go straight to where the rhododendrons are. Spring opens up all the beauty of this corner of the gardens. Leaves of the Kairenai family plants, which are dark green throughout the year, vanish under the glowing bunches of blossoms at the end of May. 500 species of rhododendrons, azaleas, and other plants of Kairenai family, as well as various primroses, grows in the kingdom of stones, pine trees, and water. Prior to the year 2000, an idea to create a real Japanese garden close to the rhododendrons was born. The first steps were taken in 2003, which only after 9 years of help from the Japanese embassy, experts from Japan, and of course botanists from Kairenai, who contributed the most, resulted in this incredible outcome. Subsequently, a Lithuanian pine forest was turned into a small part of the land of the rising sun. A stream with a waterfall, a pavilion, a pond with a turtle island attracts hundreds and thousands of visitors daily. Just to observe is not enough for some visitors. They would love to take this exotic beauty back home. After we leave the rhododendron garden, the old Kairenai estate park and the broadleaf forest opens up in front of us. And here, already like a fairy tale, there are 3 roads to choose. If to turn right, you take the spontaneous flora path abundant with grass and trees which are typical to Lithuania, and visit a real broadleaf forest. If to turn left, you descend to the pond and administrative laboratory building. If you go straight ahead, all the beauty of Old Kairenai Estate Park can be observed. So let's walk straight ahead to the old park by a twisting circular paved road. In front of us, there are many crossroads and paths. You may wander into the forest with its depth of spontaneous Lithuanian plants, or take a look at the bottom of numerous water bodies. Where do all those people go? Various events often take place in the gardens, and visitors search for art in the surroundings of nature. Since 2003, land art days have been organized in the botanical gardens, and they attract more and more enthusiasts every September. Rubiežius is the name of a fragile band of birch logs on water, influenced by eastern and western wind. The land art works are sculptures made from natural materials that later naturally merged with the earth. And here is the highest point of the gardens, with a twisted installation called the Beginning. All year round, people can admire the pieces of art in the Gardens Museum. Paintings, exhibitions of wild nature are constantly being replaced, giving the possibility for visitors to see watercolors of lilac or dahlia blossoms when real ones can't be found in nature even with a candle. Let's return to the gardens. Previously, a circular road separated a part of the gardens that was planted with ornamental plants from the completely wild part of the park. In 2002, a lilac hill was introduced here, and later, an apple tree hill. Today, there are 120 taxa of lilacs there. And only at the end of May is the real beauty of them revealed. That is the time when hundreds of people come together to Kairenai to celebrate International Biodiversity Day. This day is an official start of summertime and the blooming season in botanical gardens. The winners of the Lithuanian school's ecological competition, called My Green Window Sill, come here together from all over Lithuania. It is also considered as a family celebration when young naturalists from Vilnius Center bring along their bleating and chuckling collections. Folk lovers also gather to dance on the lawn of the gardens. Traditionally, a few weeks later, people from the Nordic countries who live in Lithuania assemble in Kairenai. Hosts are also invited to celebrate the largest holiday, Midsummer. If besides having a rest and admiring the beauty of the gardens you wish to exercise your mind, hurry to join the tour guides. Staff working at the gardens can tell you about the plants as if they are their own children, because there are places where without special knowledge you could only say how many bushes and how beautiful they are. For example, a group of woody plant collections which inspired the development of Kairenai Botanical Gardens 40 years ago. Since then, collections have matured and flourished, and plants from all over the world can be found here. Let's enter a section of lianas. There are 127 taxa of plants: clematis, honeysuckles, ampelopsis, grapevines. There are only the names of genera, whereas information about the exact names and locations of 5-meter giants that come from the Far East can be found on the plant cards. And here grow conifers, the number of which reaches hundreds of names, scientifically called taxa. Thuyas, cypresses, yew trees, pine trees, numerous varieties are in abundance here. The third dendrological section is decorated with colored leaves and bright blossoms. It is so called the ornamental section. Not only beginners may find inspiration here. There is one corner in the gardens protected from severe frost and rain, a collection of indoor plants. 840 names of plants hide in the greenhouse, and people may admire their leaves and blossoms all year round. Inevitably, you comprehend the scope of human labor that has been invested to everyday exposure of this prosperous and flourishing beauty in its best form. Visitors are unable to observe other parts of everyday work of the garden staff: experimental tests, research, plant assessment and their selection. Only because of the incredible patience, hundreds of species of new plants are born. For example, the Department of Pomology, or in other words, collections of plants producing various edible fruits and berries. It is remote, and it is recommended to visit this section only in an organized group with a guide. Although it is not a bog, cranberries do grow here. It is not Spain, but grapevines and blueberries, which are close to the family of our bilberries, flourish here. On the opposite side of the fence, a fair of saplings. There is a proverb: "What you seek is seeking you." It would be hard to find another market or fair with such a variety of rare and exotic saplings. People come here not only to sell, but also to share their knowledge and achievements. What is the main attraction of the gardens for visitors? Obviously, blossoms. The grand valley of flowers opens in front of you. Let's cross this valley as the sun crosses the sky, resurrecting flowering of individual plant species and later putting them to sleep for winter. At first, spring bulb flowers are enjoying the sun, 290 taxa of tulips, and not forgetting all other spring messengers. Irises raise their heads to the sun, followed by daylilies. And so approaches the peony's time. Their buds burst, thus liberating their silky blossoms. All the field has splashes of burgundy, rose and white colors. There are 84 families and 313 genera of plants in the collection of ornamental perennials. It is impossible to list them all, as their names will be put in the shade because of the colors and smells. Therefore, it is much better to just admire. About 160 names of gladiolus inhabit here, and they are the first ones to notify about the approaching autumn. There is an extending variety of colors and shapes of blossoms. Whereas Dahlia is considering to be the real messenger of autumn, as if it needs to prevail the forthcoming gray period, and decorates the earth with an abundance of incredible blossoms and colors. People are breathing in these blossoms in order to gain the strength for the long winter period. In the gardens, visitors absorb the last sounds of music before the cold period. It looks like the opening of the Christopher Festival took place only yesterday, and here comes the closure already. See you next summer in Kairenai, saying goodbye with a song.
Aš nebuvau ir nesu tuo medžiu, pats neišėjęs iš ten, kur negrįžęs. Aš pats sakau myliu ir pats negirdžiu.
In late autumn, plants go to sleep, but even then one may find relief in Kairenai Botanical Gardens.